Hello YouTube, this is We All Juggle Knives and Lights with a review of the Imalent SA04. This light is capable of a maximum of 1000 lumens and it runs on 4 AA batteries. It also has a touchscreen like a smartphone. I got this at gearbest.com. I'll include a discount code if it's not already on sale. This light has 2 emitters and it has a feature I've never before encountered. It allows you to actually vary the light color temperature, for example, between cool white, neutral white, and warm white. It is quite bright. It also has non-mechanical switches. Those are touch side switches. It comes with that belt holster, which has a Velcro belt loop, you see there, and also has a Velcro overflap. So that's a nice accessory. As I said, this takes 4 AA batteries, and to install them, just unscrew that tail cap, and that's how they go, 2 up and 2 down. I'm currently using Amazon high capacity AA batteries. I'll include a link to those. And here is a size comparison for you with 2 other lights that all use 4 AA batteries, one lumen top and one through night with the Imalent in the middle. And I will include links to the reviews of those lights if you want to check those out. So how does this light work? Well, it has 2 side switches. As I said, they're non-mechanical touch switches. You just tap the right side switch to turn it on, right? And then it has a touch screen which allows you to adjust the brightness level, right? You just slide it down or up, and there's those indicator bars. All right, so you see how to increase or decrease the brightness level. If you long press the right touch switch, you can get to the temperature control. This controls the color of the light. You see how that's warm, and then when I change it, it goes to white. You can see it better here against my palm. Right, that is the warmest it goes. Right, and all the way up to cool white, back to warm. So warm, neutral white, cool white. This can do any color temperature. Strobe warning, right? You're going to long press the left side switch to get to the special modes. The first one is strobe. Long press again and you get to the beacon mode, right, where it'll flash every once in a while. And long press again and it will go to SOS Morse code mode. So 3 special modes. This light also has different color LEDs. All right, you just press on the touch screen. There's the red, there's the green, there's the blue, and red and blue flashing. So you just press where it says mode on the touch screen to cycle through those and back to white. Pretty cool. So like I said, you press the right switch to turn it on, but you can press the left switch if you want it to stay on but you don't want the touch screen to be lit. And press it again to light it, press the right again to turn it all off. Okay, let's demonstrate this outside. And here it is on the front steps. Okay, so you see what the touch screen looks like in the dark. Very easy to see. Right, and that was the maximum. Now I'm going to decrease it to the minimum, right, which is pretty much moonlight. That's the minimum, right? So it's like a moonlight mode. And increasing it again to the full 1000 lumens. Pretty bright. Can this light your path? Well, here we are walking around back. Now, because of the 2 emitter setup and the variable temperature color, the beam pattern is going to be slightly asymmetrical, but as you see there, it's really not bad at all. Okay, you're not going to notice. So I decreased the brightness, and that's how dark it is. Very dark. Now increasing the brightness again. Now I'm going to demonstrate the color changing feature. All right, this is as white as it gets, and now I'm going to change it to as warm as it gets. And wow, big difference. Okay, you saw that. All right, strobe demo coming, little strobe warning. This has a very hyperactive strobe. Yeah, you see that. Nice. Very nice. Okay, longer range shots. Now this is the warmest color setting, which is also going to be the clearest. All right, now this is from the 2nd story window. And as you can see, I'm moving it around, panning around to different targets. Now this is not meant as a super thrower or a super long range light. right? But it's 1,000 lumens, so it'll be decent at backyard distances, right? That's pretty much the limit. Okay, final thoughts on this Imalent SA04. This has got to be the craziest light I have ever seen. I feel like I went about 10 years into the future. I mean, with the touchscreen and the non-mechanical switches, 3 special modes plus 4 modes with different colors, plus you can change the brightness, infinitely variable from 1,000 to moonlight, and you can vary the color temperature. I've never seen that before. This thing has more special features than I've ever seen crammed into one light. Are they needed? Well, if you're just looking behind your water heater, then, you could just use a dollar store light, but that's not what this is for. Obviously, this is trying to push the envelope, and it's really for tech, like nerdy tech geeks, which is a good thing to be. It's not the first light that a beginner should buy. Okay, definitely not. And it's not a budget light, but still, I am so glad that companies are actually making an effort, to develop new stuff. I mean, I've seen many, many lights, okay, and it's very rare that I can actually sincerely say something surprised me. This thing surprised me. I gotta give credit where credit is due there. So the benefit is that it has a million special features. The drawbacks, well, it's not a thrower. It's a pretty good floodlight. It has medium range, but not long range. Another drawback would be that the beam pattern is a little bit asymmetrical. You're not really going to notice that at short range, but it might just bother you if you're like me, you're a little bit OCD. I'm sure the touchscreen control is really easy when you get used to it, but I'll admit I'm not used to it yet. I'm not one of these young kids that grew up with touchscreens, but I'm sure it would be easy for them. But overall, just an insane amount of deliciously nerdy features. And if you're advanced enough to need and use and understand all these features, then you probably already know that you want the light. So the link will be in the text box. I hope you enjoyed seeing this crazy light. This has been We All Juggle Knives and Lights.